Hi guys, I switched over what microphone I'm using, but I just wanted to let you guys know this is kind of making up for my failure that I did on the last podcast kind of thing. So I thought I would do one of these instead of some gameplay live streaming. Instead, I'll extend my live podcast to another one. But I said I would show some gameplay on what do you call it? The Remnant From The Ashes multiplayer gameplay. It goes up to 3-player. I don't know if I told you guys this yet, but it caps at 3. But before that, I also got some, excuse me. I also got to show you guys some actual detailed explanation on what it is. It's another YouTube video, and I'm just going to look that up now. And then I thought you guys would like that too. So I'm using my Blue Yeti because so you guys can hear that air sound, as well as I actually got desktop audio working, so I can mute my mic and you guys can hear the gameplay. And I'm just gonna make sure after I mute my mic. My cat is in my room. Just give me a sec. Really? Yeah. What are you doing? What are you doing, Gina? Yeah, I'm trying to do a podcast. Jeez. Anyways, so pretty much I figured out all the audio thingies as well as that works well. Let's just see here. Now if I go to, I'm not showing you guys yet, I'm just going to alright, right here. So you guys actually
I'm so bad at this game. Can't even aim. Can't aim, you say?
Yeah,
like random.
Okay, so I'm gonna have you guys listen to this, and then I'll talk about more of my stuff later. How long is this? It's 9 minutes. So 9 minutes of the stream is gonna be the intro. This is kind of what I'm gonna be showing you guys. But let me just
Randomized maps from Warframe or Diablo.
switch over here. Okay. This guy, he did a pretty good YouTube video on it and explains it pretty in-depthly. He has quite a bit of subs, so if you want to go check him out, go check him out. The Terra Mantis. I found this video, and it actually in-depth explains quite a bit of what I missed. And if you guys don't know about certain armor types or little details pretty much that I missed, but like for example, he talks about how when you use a dragon heart, it actually heals other players beside you and not just your own if there's other players beside you. So it could, since it's so useful in that type of perspective, it can actually help you in that way. As well as in Dark Souls, there's how do you say that? Extus Flask? Extus Flask, or I think that's what they're called. And pretty much they're like your dragon heart, except you get like 10. And in this game you get like 3 dragon hearts, because dragon hearts are a lot more useful compared to Extus Flask. Just heal yourself and that's it. And then there's more of a multiplayer co-op perspective they try and force onto players. Well, I don't know if I would say force, but it seems like they would recommend it. You can go solo, but I feel like it would be recommended to have trustworthy co-op friends, because there is also friendly fire, so you gotta look into that as well. I'm gonna mute myself here and you guys can listen.
A third-person shooter with inspiration pulled from all over the gaming spectrum, like randomized maps from Warframe or Diablo, solid gunplay, as well as melee combat and character progression similar to a Soulsborne title. As a matter of fact, many of the mechanics from Remnant From The Ashes are pulled straight from the Soulsborne genre. They just kind of take on different names and slightly different nuances. Take the Dragon Heart, for example, which is basically Remnant's version of an Estus Flask, a healing item with a specific amount of charges allotted until fully consumed, which is then recharged upon death or resting at a checkpoint. But unlike the Soulsborne series, Dragonheart charges can also be used to pick up downed allies. Additionally, stamina regen is a major factor to mastering combat, and just like any respectable RPG, combat mechanics are influenced by player choice through equipment and stats. For equipment, Remnant has 3 armor slots, 3 trinket slots for rings and a necklace, 1 melee weapon, and 2 firearm slots. All of this when combined has a great influence on playstyle and how combat is approached. Trinkets have a variety of effects, like increasing crit chance after defeating an enemy, to healing close proximity allies when consuming a dragon heart, and much more. And as one would expect, armor has stats for various damage resistances, but also has different set bonuses, like Treasure Hunter for increased loot, or Challenger for increased damage to nearby enemies. Also akin to the Soulsborne genre, armor has weight, which affects roll speed. And roll speed is important when considering invincibility frames, aka iframes. Invincibility frames is the window during a roll animation at which the player can roll right through an enemy's attack to avoid damage. This is important because it has a great impact on melee combat. And speaking of which, melee combat in Remnant, mechanically, is pretty uniform from weapon to weapon. Each weapon type does have different movesets with various styles of vertical and horizontal strikes with varying attack speeds, reach, and damage output, but ultimately, each weapon has the same principle through specific button combinations. For instance, each weapon has a primary combo of 3 attacks in a row before restarting a combination, and attacks have 2 different versions: normal swings with a quick button tap, or charged, harder hitting swings with a button press and hold. Normal and charge attacks can then be intermingled between for any and all attacks in the 3-hit combo string. There's also a unique lunging attack performed while sprinting, and finally, the neutral dodge, which is performed by dodging without a direction, can also be followed by an attack which skips to the last attack of the weapon's combo. In other words, if you're familiar with Soulsborne combat, dodging, iframes, melee, stamina management, etc., then you're going to feel right at home in Remnant. What's different though is Remnant obviously has guns, and the flow between firearms and melee combat happens pretty seamlessly. This is because in Remnant there is no firing guns from the hip. Firearms only shoot while aiming down the sights. Attempting to shoot without aim down sight will instantly switch to melee strikes. So combat can flow effortlessly between short-range melee attacks and powerful firearms. Other than that though, gunplay of Remnant is pretty standard stuff. I'd say the most unique feature of Remnant's combat is probably its weapon mod system. And really though, at least in my experience, more often than not, these so-called weapon mods are not really weapon mods at all. They're actually castable abilities similar to spells, which can then be swapped in and out of any firearm with any empty slot. Then, during combat, when dealing damage with the modded gun, the ability will fill at a rate depending on the weapon's damage output. After enough damage is dealt and the ability icon fills, the player can then activate the ability at their discretion. Mod abilities definitely bring the most character to your build to define a role or class. This is because mods range from abilities that might put a healing area on the floor, grow thorns on your body for a duration to return damage and become nearly unstaggerable, launch a spore pod that forces the attention of.
So, I checked out the stream, it's working pretty fine. I hope you guys enjoy this kind of like perspective that I'm taking on it. I found this guy, he uploaded like literally just yesterday, and I looked at it today and I was like, oh, maybe I should show this, and it's 9 minutes too. So, when he's talking about all the little details that I've kind of like didn't discuss yet or missed, this really helps give you guys a better perspective of what Remnant is supposed to be like.
Enemies to attack it, summons a floating darkness-spewing skull or hatchet-wielding undead Oompa Loompas, and much more. Armor choice, weapon loadout, ability mods, and equipped trinkets are then honed one step further towards an overall customization through trait distribution. And traits are basically the game's stat point system. Some traits are very standard stats, like more HP or stamina recovery, and so on. That said, with over 30 different traits to discover, eventually they do become very specialized as you play and unlock them by performing various feats, turning into things like Quick Hands for faster reloads, Mother's Blessing for ranged damage reduction, and many others. And when all of this comes together, I think you can have a good understanding to how potential skills, equipment, and stats can define different approaches to play. For instance, later during a 3-player co-op session, I was equipped with a ground heal, a magnum to stagger enemies, as well as summoning little minions to help even the odds against larger groups of enemies. In other words, I was playing more of a support role than a damage role. And as you can see here, this group of enemies is primarily comprised of exploding, spear-throwing enemies and one hulking brute. It didn't take long for me to realize that the brute needs to be brought down last. Otherwise, our group will be dealing with a barrage of exploding spears if we're only chipping away at this aggressive, hard-hitting berserker with a very deep health pool. So I use my magnum to interrupt and stagger enemies for crowd control instead of going for kills. and then begin summoning minions to help divide the enemy group's focus away from my teammates. And with over 100 different enemy types, from irradiated exploding aliens to trans-dimensional tree creatures that combust when shot, dynamic combat situations like this one can be found often. That said, the game's main combat situations, at least from what I experienced, have two major milestones: horde-like standoffs against waves of enemies and boss encounters. Speaking of which, boss encounters are definitely one of Remnant's strongest features. The Dragon World boss, for example, would spray fire across the battlefield, smashing and impacting with the destructible environment, whittling away at any potential safety and cover as the fight goes on. All the while, patches of oil on the ground can ignite into damaging status effect hazards, all culminating in an almost claustrophobic mechanic as the battle arena grows smaller and smaller from the dragon's attacks. But if and when you do finally take some of these bosses down, they obviously drop some of the most sought after mods, traits, weapons, and crafting materials in the game. With that said, in Remnant...
So just to point something out here, obviously I am watching someone else's video. Now, if I had the ability to play the game myself as early as this guy did with his friends, I would have done the same. But to do this, you gotta have a bigger channel. Obviously, he has 353,000 subs. I don't, nor am I even making ad money on this yet. And he had one ad at the start, so obviously he has monetization on his videos. So that's why, you know, obviously they're gonna pick someone more popular than someone less popular. It'd be cool though if I could get earlier access than the VIP weekend, but I don't think so. So the earliest I'm going to be able to play this is on the 16th with my brother and whoever else. It's going to be my third teammate. I haven't decided yet, or haven't really found out, judging my community I've set on Remnant From The Ashes on PlayStation. But I'll let you guys know if I ever figure that out. But either way, this is just important information.
And waves of color-coded loot don't drop all over the map. Instead, the majority of pickups are scrap, acting as currency, and crafting materials like iron and other more rare materials. These are then brought to your home base to reinforce armor, upgrade weapons, and craft new mods and weapons as well. However, these pieces of armor, weapons, and mods are mostly unlocked from defeating bosses or found out in the world. And how you find different mods, gear, crafting materials, and boss weapons is highly influenced by world design. This is because even though each of the 4 zones are all structured with the same overall idea of exploring to find a mid-boss and then completing the zone after a world boss, with some events, encounters, and environmental set pieces which are not randomized in the campaign along the way, the individual stage design of Remnant is structured somewhat like a Diablo game, with procedurally generated maps that are always changing the map's layout and configuration. And more to the point of before, this randomness can influence a map as to deliver alternate mid-bosses or final bosses of a zone, potentially altering the material or item that you're seeking. Trying to farm and upgrade Spitfire, the unique submachine gun flamethrower hybrid crafted with materials from the Dragon World boss of the first zone? Well, the dragon might not even be there. Instead, it could be the enormous Treant World boss with a different loot table altogether. And the randomness doesn't stop there. These bosses can even have different modifiers changing behaviors of the fight. Gorefist, for example, in one of my encounters had Regenerator, which constantly healed the mid-boss over time, and in a different encounter had Hardy, making it extremely resilient to damage. Further still, randomization can also change events, move item locations as well as the actual item found at that location, and it can move or remove encountered NPCs from one visit to the next. Meaning return visits to the same zone can yield completely different results from player to player and from one playthrough to the next. I played Remnant for about 8 hours, fought 6 different bosses, and finished 2 of the 4 zones in that time, which means if progression happens at a similar rate throughout the game, then it's roughly 15 to 20 hours. With that said though, from alternating world bosses for each zone as well as mini-bosses with changing modifiers, to randomized NPC encounters, puzzles, unique item spawns, and events found on each map, the game is definitely designed so that you cannot experience everything it has to offer in a single playthrough. So with the right support, Remnant From The Ashes could be a game people play consistently for years instead of weeks. And luckily then, Gunfire Games is off to a good start, promising an adventure mode as a new addition to the game 2 weeks after its launch on August 20th. Alright guys, that's about it from me. Let me know if...
So there you guys have it. That's pretty much Remnant from the Ashes on a good note, is the best way to put it here. So if you guys see this as a game that you would like, then go right ahead and go with that sort of style. So, style? No. Genre of game is what I meant. But yeah, so as I said before, until the 16th, I won't be able to actually put any content out, which is still a while from now. It's 27 days from now. And more, actually. He's including hours in that. But either way, 27 days from now, I will have my first episode uploaded. And out of all the games that I've seen so far, I feel like this is one, just like he said, this is one that could stay for years. This is one that I feel like my channel could be super dedicated around as long as they keep supporting the game and possibly even adding DLCs, new places, things like that, as well as it's randomly generated, so just the stuff that we get at the start even will be a long journey. And they say he said around 25 hours simply on their website, and other live streams it says different things. I've seen on a live stream it's 45 or 44 hours of gameplay that could last you a while, all that stuff. So we're gonna head into the next video where I'm gonna show certain parts of this, and then I think, well, in the last video I just wanted to, or live podcast, I just wanted to show you guys how my podcast can be better. I didn't have the right settings yet, but this is like our 4th podcast, and like the first one was like, I didn't even name it a podcast, and then the second one was like a preview, third was kind of like meh, but now I got this. So if you guys enjoy this, leave a like or tell me in the comments, and if you leave a dislike, tell me in the comments why you disliked it, and not as I will judge you or anything, but just so I know what I can improve on, because that helps my channel, it helps it get more popular, helps me improve on certain mistakes that I made, so then I can make better content for you guys and put better content and information out there for you.
Now, chat. All right, and then I got a shot.
So holy crap, this is my bro man. He's pretty sick. I don't know what I said there. Mr. Broman. He's a live streamer. He also got early access gameplay, so I'll be showing that, and you'll be hearing his commentary.
Shooter RPG. Okay, look.
That works the same as a gun.
I just wanted to. Ow! I just wanted to test out.
Oh, is that working? Test? Okay. Oh, anyways, what I also meant to say, he's actually playing with his brother, as well as another friend that his brother knows, so, or he knows as well. It's pretty sick. It's kind of what my channel does too. But yeah.
Out to see if I could hit you with my hammer.
Actually, go ahead and try it, because I don't know that it actually did any damage.
Okay.
Oh,
so
good.
we can melee when we're close.
Wait, let me test out this real quick.
Sure.
I'm not gonna do that. That's actually
that would have been. God damn it.
Does that damage you?
Yeah, definitely.
What about this one? Don't get together, please.
I say please, which means
please
you have
what?
to. That was polite. So this is a brand new area.
Dogs!
We got company. There's a giant like. Where the fuck are we?
Luckily, I killed it after it was dead.
Are we like playing Dune?
Oh, hang on. We got some enemies. We got some hostiles up here.
Oh yeah, that's the other game I was telling you guys that I forgot about. Doom, the second, or Doom is making a second game. I forget the actual title under Doom, but it pretty much is coming out as well in 2020, or I think at the end of 2019, one of the two. But yeah, that's pretty cool too. I'll stop talking.
Oh, they got javelin.
Oh, that dog made a sad sound. Where is this guy
Wait,
at?
do not run directly in front of me.
Here comes the doggos. You killed the dog!
Kind of mistake you only make one.
Ooh!
That's very true.
Okay, yeah, these javelin guys are mad.
Jeez, they're everywhere.
Here comes it. Oh, he's got a lot of health. It's a Tusky. He's a Tusky boy. Okay, this is hectic.
Yeah, definitely a little bit. And like, I can't shoot him in the head either.
Yeah, because they have the skull helmets on. They have the skull helmets on. I'm gonna check out these buildings to the left.
Holy!
They put fireworks on their bows, or on their javelins.
Okay, I'm gonna heal. All right, I'm gonna use my shotgun ult thing.
Where are you at? Let's group up. Do it here. Oh, did you already do it? Wow. All right.
Oh, it's an AoE heal, isn't it?
Yeah, it should be. Do you have your shotgun thing up, Ben?
Yeah, I do.
No, I've been using my other weapon a lot.
Do you want to heal me?
75%.
What do I? It didn't. Ah! What do I shoot you with it? How do I?
I summoned a little friend. Don't shoot my friend.
I thought it was a bad guy. He was scary.
Get him. Yeah, look at him. He's so cute.
Yeah,
I kind of shot him like 5 times.
That's cute. That's super cute. T. He definitely
take damage.
He definitely doesn't look like a ball sack with teeth at all. Doesn't look like a ball sack with teeth at all. T.
Yeah, well, you know, ball sacks with teeth are in this year.
They're in. They're so in.
Ball sacks are so hot right now.
It's very hot right now.
It's very hot right now.
This area is so open. Like, I don't know where we should go.
Well, I think it's kind of nice because you can explore a little bit. There is like loot to be found and whatnot,
looks like north to me.
Is that stage north?
I found a big old box.
Okay.
All right, I'm heading. I'm a little bit behind you guys. Hold on.
Okay.
I have to play catch-up.
There's a checkpoint up here.
Watch my back. I would like to have.
Watch my back, dude. Watch it.
Watch the back. Watching it. Mans.
Oh shit. Oh yeah, get hammered.
That was so meaty. There's
another one.
There's more of them.
Hold up, let's see if we
This
can
is
use the
bad.
checkpoint. Alright, use checkpoint.
They attacked us because we checked out the checkpoint.
There's you can't step on some of these plates because they spawn enemies.
It's a puzzle?
Oh, it's a puzzle, but at least it's a trap. Alright, everyone, walk to me. Yeah, I see how you're stepping on the things. Don't leave the checkpoint. Just shoot him from here.
Okay.
That way we can use it after he's dead. That's the when everyone's reloading at the same time. Alright, let's do it. Checkpoint. So yeah, right in front of us, the plate goes down, and then the enemy respawns. I don't know what that's
Holy
about,
crap.
So maybe it's a puzzle to, like, watch. Just. Oh, it didn't happen this time? Oh, here we go. That a man's spot.
Suck on the hammer, bud.
Yeah, maybe it is a puzzle. Maybe we can open that door in a specific way.
He's beefy, Chad.
I wonder if this is like a way of figuring out which. Maybe we stand on 4 specific panels and a door open.
Well, that didn't respawn anything right there.
I'm okay with that.
Okay, like...
Not all of them drop.
Yeah, I don't know. It makes me think that, like, there's
Hang on,
something...
major dog out there.
That was... These dogs are really sad when they're dead. Oh, over here.
Over where?
I think there are actually only 3 of these that drop.
Maybe we stand on all 3 of them at the same time.
I don't know, there's more than 3.
Oh! Yeah, it seems like it's some kind of puzzle.
Enemy.
I guess we can just move forward for now. Go, my friend! Ouch! How many friends can I have at the same time? Oh, I can make an army! Get him! Me and the boys!
Stand with the boys.
So I've got to heal with my shotgun if you guys need.
We can group up for it.
Playing with the boys.
You can see everyone's helping in the top left. Mr. Brobad, please report to the healing station, which is my shotgun.
Oh, cool. That was neat.
You gotta stay inside of it though.
No, I want to catch that with my face.
Dog's mine.
Dude, these dog effects make me so sad, chat. I want this game. Me too!
Alright, I'm gonna give my crit bonus.
Lots of dogs coming behind you. Lots of guys on the outside.
You guys see them marked, right?
Oh my god, fur dog.
This is awesome. This is so fucking awesome.
Kind of reminds me a little bit of Vermintide, just a little bit. You know?
I get that vibe. Is there any plans for
we're
DLCs
heading
and
south, huh?
expansions? Yeah, on their website they got a whole bunch of stuff listed for like future plans.
All right.
Okay, so right there, what he just said, that is not correct. It's not correct in the way that he says future plans for DLCs. They actually have nothing about DLCs yet, judging by what they have on there. But they do have, like, how they're still developing the swamp, so the swamp, another realm. So for sure we know there'll be 4 realms to be traveling between 2. This one being one of the newest ones, Rom, which we already discovered in past live streams, especially the very first live podcast I did on that. But yeah, so I think we are going to end it here since I got things to do, and this was kind of like a sneak peek at what you guys can see more from me on live streams, live podcasts. And if you guys want longer ones rather than just half an hour ones, you can tell me and see what you guys think about it, so I know what to do for the next one. So